19 is Jed Overstreet, 20 is Luke Roche, 21 Nolan Simmons, 22 is Samuel Hauk, 23 is Austin Keller, and we are off and running, so we'll get through the rest of this in a moment. Into turn one, who's going to get the Stasic whole shot? Looks like it might be, I believe that's the 66 ride. Coming into that second turn. Oh, swapping out, swapping all the way down that straightaway, and he is going to lose the lead.
Number 89 out front now. Let's take a look here on the sheet. We'll see who that is. That is Waylon Ballinger.
And that whole shot did go to the 69 of Carter Gray. So Gray was out front, kind of swapped down that second straightaway, handed over the lead. And they're heading out to Storyland. Everyone looks like they got through the commandments and everything pretty good, so we've got a good race.
All right, as we see them on screen now coming through Storyland. Kellen's got the binoculars out, trying to get that bird's eye view, see who we got here in the run-in as they head in to the Rocky Mountain sand section.
Leaning off the back of that machine out front, making sure they get through the sand A-OK.
It is going to be the number 89 and the number 70. On the number 70 machine, that is Jackson Vick out of Texas.
Yeah, chasing down Waylon Ballinger, like you had said. So they're going to pull away out front just a little bit here. Our two leaders trying to sneak away from the rest of the pack. It is still the 69 machine of Carter Gray right up there behind them, though. And they're going to come down to complete lap number one. 20 minutes in this moto. A lot of time left for this race to get real good with the 70 closing up. Ballinger leads that first lap, though.
All right, give you a rundown of the top five. It is Waylon Ballinger. Then it's going to be Jackson Vick on KTM number 70. Carter Gray on the 69 Cobra. Then it's going to be Braxton Craiglow and Easton Graves rounding out our top five here in this 65cc 10 to 11 class. As we see our leaders on screen, it looks like Jackson Vick going to try to make a move to the inside, and he does. He is going to be your new leader as they head into the 10 commandments.
That outside line, though, still could work for Ballinger, staying out of all that deep inside rough that we're seeing from some of these bigger machines making. But it does seem as if the 70 of Jackson Vick has taken over the race lead. So now Ballinger's going to settle in behind him. And we work through the commandments here on lap two. Oh, the 89 of Ballinger nearly tucks that front end. The 69 of Gray dealing with some pressure from Easton Graves, who's already moved up into fourth and is trying to get into third.
Easton Graves goes to the inside as they enter into Storyland. And it looks like Easton's going to try to go to the inside. Will that work for him? Lost a little bit of speed there. He's going to go to the inside again. This time it looks like he might have it. Side by side as they go. And he does. The number 31 of Easton Graves moves on up.
Yeah, you saw Gray right there kind of get high-centered in the rut, both legs off, paddled a little bit, but able to keep it on two wheels. And look at this, Easton Graves, he is caught right up to our second place rider, Ballinger there. He's trying to move up into second. Our leader is getting away a little bit right here. Jackson Vick on the second lap just took a little bit of a look over on the table out front. But the battle for second coming in right here to this sand turn. Still Ballinger, but Easton Graves is caught up to him quick.
Easton Graves going to try to take that inside line through the Polysport Pond sweeper. And it looks like he is going to be able to make it stick as they head into the finish line here. So the number 31 of Easton Graves makes his way second place in fifth place last time around. So he is on the moves here, folks. And we can see Jackson Vick there in the distance. We'll see if Easton Graves is able to make up some of that time. There's about a 4-second gap this time around.
Yeah, Graves did run a pretty similar lap time to our leader, Vic, there. Both of them in the 2:15s, and Graves had to make 2 passes on that lap to do so. But Jackson Vick also did make a pass around Ballinger to get into the lead. So it's now Vic, Graves, Waylon Ballinger, Brayton Craiglow, and Carter Gray has slipped back to 5th behind Craiglow. So 29 of Craiglow on that Yamaha also starting to charge up into the picture as well. He is right behind the 89 of Ballinger.
I believe our leader has went down here in this one. I don't see anybody ahead of the number 31, and he must have. So that is going to make Easton Graves your new leader. Jackson Vick on the number 70 going down. There he goes now through the 10 commandments. We'll see what he's able to do in this one. It looks like he's going to fall back to 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 spots there.
And tough luck for Vic. He was looking strong earlier on the number 70. Not sure exactly what happened. Might have tucked the front in there or something. Looks like he had some issues, but good to see the number 70 back up and running early in this.
And his speed was really good early on too, so we'll see if he can maybe start to reel back in the group that was in front of him. He was the only rider that was kind of matching Easton Graves' pace. Now that Graves has got clear track, we'll see if he can start to sprint away, but also got to keep an eye. Craiglow, who's now up to 3rd on that Yamaha, he is starting to close that gap down on Ballinger on the gas just ahead of him as we work through the sand section down this back straightaway. We got a little bit of a battle for second brewing.
We sure do. The number 29 of Craiglow choosing some good lines this time around, able to catch up a good bit of time. And the 29 carries his speed over this tabletop. Will that be enough? Side by side as they go into the Polysport Pond Sweeper. Number 29 trying to work his way into that inside. Not going to be able to do it through that one.
And they were as close as you could get.
Had a leg off right there, kind of dug his foot into the sand on the inside. But was able to keep the throttle on. That's all you really need to keep moving forward. Inside move right there for Craiglow to try to move into second. Ballinger holds it, though, around the outside. Not able to get by just yet. Let's see if Craiglow makes that pass around the outside over the tunnel jump.
And he is trying to do so. But it looks like Ballinger going to be able to hold him off here through this Wall of Fame corner. Craiglow going to reset and try it again.
Always interesting to see in this 65cc class the way that these riders will ride the track, because a lot of these lines are being formed kind of outside in. These guys will cut across a few ruts and find a little bit of a smoother line, not get buried in those deep holes. And you can really see Craiglow on the 29 searching around, looking for that opportunity side by side into the commandments. Oh, coming over a little bit, but he does get that pass done by the looks of it, and into second place goes Brayton Craiglow on that Yamaha.
The number 29, that is how you do it right there. He's constantly looking inside, outside of the rider in front of him, and the Yamaha is able to get himself around and put himself into second place as they get ready to head back towards Storyland. And Easton Graves, I don't believe, is too far out ahead of them. So we'll see whether or not the 29 of Craiglow is able to send this thing all the way to the front, as he is now comfortably sitting in that second place. Ballinger going to try to pick up on some lines, see if he can find out exactly where the Yamaha was a little faster and remount a charge before this thing is said and done.
I think our early leader, Jackson Vick, is already now up to 4th. I think he's gotten around Carter Gray. So keep an eye on the 70 machine. He's flying through the sand section. He is trying to reel in Ballinger now, who slipped back into the 3 spot. And he is on a mission trying to catch this lead group. Obviously, Craiglow up front trying to roll up to Easton Graves, our leader on the 31. This kid's sending this triple jump in the middle. But yeah, this battle for second tightening up in a hurry. Jackson Vick on that 70 has his eyes set on the 89 of Ballinger.
And there you can see the number 70 on your screen. He is catching up to that 89 quick. We'll see if he is able to do anything this time around. Like we said earlier, folks, he was in the lead here in this moto before he went down. Stretching those 65s out across that finish line triple there.
And taking a look at the lap times as they come in, both first and second place, doing 2:18s.
Oh!
Big down on the inside there. And he's got his leg, looks like, stuck under the bike. It's going to take him a little bit to get going. Another costly mistake for the 70 machine. So I made it all the way back to 4th. Looks like he's going to fall probably maybe just outside the top 10.
He's going to have to push that reset button there for Jackson Vick, get his head back in this one. Luckily, this is just Moto 1 here at the ranch.
There you get a good look of our leaders going through the 10 commandments. You saw Graves and Craiglow behind him. There's Ballinger coming through. And then Carter Gray on the 69 now coming through the commandments. He's got the 67 of Landon Lee, who just moved up into the top 5 behind him. So actually, Vic didn't lose too many positions. It looks like he's now behind, we got Shoma Nagasawa on the 66 now up into 7th, and Vic is right behind him. So Jackson Vic is kind of the rider to watch in this moto, because he is making it interesting. Couple crashes, charges forward, crash again, battle his way forward again.
All hard there for the number 70 of Jackson Vic. And there on screen, we see the number 67 of Landon Lee now rocking that purple front wheel. And now on screen, that is going to be Ballinger there on that number 89 machine, making his way into the Rocky Mountain.
So Craiglow was closing on our leader Graves there for a little bit, but it seems like Graves has got it figured out. He's pulling back away. Ballinger there still in 3rd on the gas. Not too far back of Craiglow, who is in 2nd, so he's got his head down. He's trying to charge after him. Then we've got a pretty substantial gap now back from 3rd all the way to our 4th place rider, which is, of course, Carter Gray now coming through, 67 of Landon Lee. And then Jackson Vic has gotten around Nagasawa. There is our leader, Graves, again, checking in out front. Another 2:18 lap time for him. Consistency, and indeed, he did put 4 seconds on Craiglow that last lap alone. So consistency, a good balance for Graves out front, but also limiting the damage and the mistakes, which Craiglow is starting to fall into a little bit of a trap with. Back to a little bit further down the order, we find once again Jackson Vic, as they go through the mechanics area, is now closed onto the 67 of Landon Lee. So Vic had fallen down to about 8th spot, picked it up. Now he's trying to knock on the door of opportunity to get back into the top 5. And he will just not give up this charge forward. Looking down the commandments again, there's our 3 leaders going by. 89 of Waylon Ballinger is still in 3rd. And there is Vic. So he has already not only gotten around the 67, but he's on Carter Gray again for 4th place. Jackson Vic, no quit in this kid right here. He is absolutely going for it.
He sure is, and there he goes, creeping up on the Cobra machine now, heading to the inside. So the number 70 of Jackson Vic on the move here once again. And now he is wheel to wheel. So he is closing in on Carter Gray, and he makes the pass. So Jackson Vic gonna make himself up into that 4th spot, I do believe.
And it looks like Craiglow may have just gone down up the ways a little bit. He's down in the sand. So Ballinger gets back by into 2nd. Craiglow is trying to right the ship in the sand. So Vic is going to go by for 3rd. There is Craiglow down right now, kicking and kicking the machine, trying to fire it back up. Jackson Vic goes by into 3rd. Carter Gray now finds himself up into the 4th position. Well, he was 4th, lost the position to Vic, but now is 4th again. And Craiglow still kicking away in the sand. You hate to see it.
And Kellen, just like that, the number 70 of Jackson Vic back up there into that podium spot. And the grit is paying off for him here today.
So now if you're Jackson Vic, you made it all the way back to the podium. You've been down twice. Still eyes forward for him. A little mistake right there. We've got 6 minutes left in this moto. Really curious to see what his lap time is compared to what Waylon Ballinger just put down at a 2:21.2, and see whether or not Vic, who just made up 4 positions that last lap to get in 3rd. Look at that, 2:17.1. He's 7 seconds down, but he might have enough time to still get Ballinger for 2nd.
Jackson Vic is the fastest man on the track by about 3 seconds that last lap. Easton Graves turned to 2:20 that last time around. He is your leader there on that number 31 KTM. 11-second lead between him and Waylon Ballinger there on that number 89 Gas. And Jackson Vic about 7 seconds behind them.
So our 2nd place rider, Craiglow, who was down in the sand, finally has got the bike going. And he is on his way again a little ways down the order. We'll get a check on where he is officially. just went by our announcer's tower here, so tough break to fall out of second like that, but at least he's up and going and not injured.
All right, on screen we see the number 70 of Jackson Vick making his way into Storyland.
Yeah, Vic getting caught up a little bit behind lap traffic right there. I believe that's the 12 of Alexander Doak that he's getting by. So Graves, Ballinger, Vic, Gray, and Landon Lee is your top 5. And Graves has now pulled this thing out to over 11 seconds on Ballinger. So as long as he keeps it on 2 wheels, this looks like he's got this thing pretty well wrapped up. I think the real question mark is whether or not we can see Jackson Vick charge all the way back up into second place. Waylon Ballinger just coming through the corner, coming back towards this announcer's tower, jumping that big jump in the middle, and then Jackson Vick going to follow him. So eye test wise, looks like he's brought that gap down a little bit. It was at that 7-second mark. I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 seconds gain this lap now, so gained about 2 seconds. We'll see when they come through that timing and scoring loop at our finish line one more time.
All right, so Jackson Vick makes his way through the finish line. Once again, we'll see what that time is. It looks like Ballinger able to knock a second off of Graves, and Vick got to knock 3 seconds off between him and Ballinger. So Vick on the move here in this one. We still got 2 more laps to go as the 2 card is out. So that might just be what Jackson Vick needs to advance up to that second place position.
Yeah, you're going to get a good look at them coming up to the Cometic corner and then the 10 Commandments shortly after that. The 89 of Ballinger, he's riding his own race. He's just trying to hit his marks and not make too many mistakes, while Jackson Vick instead, he is sending it. He is throwing caution to the wind to try to close that gap down, and now you see it on your screen. It is not that big anymore. If you're Vic, you can start seeing him, start seeing where you're gaining on him, and maybe even think a lap ahead so you can try to set up a pass on that last lap of the race.
Exactly, and I've been seeing Jackson Vick choosing some different lines. When we see him bobble in a line, he has not been taking that same line. So Jackson Vick on the move, trying to pick the smart lines here and get himself up farther into that podium contention. But I would say his main goal is to keep it on 2 wheels after those 2 crashes here in this moto.
Really good job of salvaging, though, with those 2 crashes. Still, at the moment, at least going to get 3rd, could even get 2nd. And when you start off your week with 2 crashes and still get on the podium, I think you have to leave there a little bit satisfied that it didn't go worse.
Most definitely. That's a great way to get you some confidence headed into Moto 2 and 3. And taking a look here on our scores, Craig Lowe going to fall all the way down to 33rd there on that number 29 Yamaha. So tough break for him here in this moto, getting held up in the sand.
All right, coming down, it is not that 4-second gap anymore. It is much less than that, and Jackson Vick certainly peeking ahead, can see Ballinger just ahead of him as they start going through the Thor sand section. White flag is going to wave. In fact, I think it just waved right now for our leader, Easton Graves. And this is the battle for second right here coming into your screen.
All right, so one more time around here for Ballinger and Vick. Vick just right on Ballinger now. That gap was 4 seconds last time around. And it looks like he is going to try to. He's headed out to the outside now, into the inside. Is that going to be enough? Not this time. Ballinger able to hold him off for at least one more corner. But Vick is headed to the inside.
They're going to be almost side by side coming into that 3rd corner. Vick holds it on a little bit longer on the brakes. Gets to that inside line. As long as he makes it through clean, he will be into 2nd place. And Jackson Vick, what a comeback, a remarkable one for the 70, all the way back to 2nd place here on this last lap.
Yeah, Jackson Vick led that bike dance all the way up to 2nd place here in this one, and he is already pulling a few bike links.
Boy, at this point, he might end this moto and be bummed that there wasn't an extra lap or 2 to maybe even try to catch Easton Graves at the rate that he's going. Last time by, he was 5 seconds quicker than our leader, Easton Graves. Graves, of course, probably slowing it down, wants to cruise it in on this last lap. Maybe conserve a little bit of energy. But still, I mean, Jackson Vick absolutely flying in this moto.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those wrecks must have fired Jackson Vick up, because he has been on the move all moto long. Like you were saying, 5 seconds faster that last time around than our leader. And we see him turning those kind of laps on lap number 8. So that just shows the speed Jackson Vick is going out here on this Loretta Lynn's course, as we see the number 31 of Easton Graves on your screen. Great moto for Mr. Graves here in this one as he heads back into this Polysport pond one more time.
Going to bring us down through that Thor Sand Sweeper one last time, using the outside line, standing up on the pegs. Great form, great technique all the way through that corner. And he used that form and technique all the way through this moto, and it's going to give him a moto victory. Final turn, bringing it home. The 31 of Easton Graves is going to win the first moto here and has a finger raised to the sky. Very excited about that. 65cc 10-11 Moto 1 winner, Easton Graves.
And he was pumped about that one. We're going to see Jackson Vick coming across the line there in second on his KTM. He is going to be followed by Waylon Ballinger for third place there. He's on the number 89 Gas machine.
Interesting to see the different emotions for our top three. Of course, Graves the winner, very excited, fist pumping, and then Jackson Vick shaking his head, disappointed in himself. But Ballinger in third, he also was doing some fist pumping, and excited to see the emotions from these kids out here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Cool to see. Jackson Vick should be proud of that one. And Nagasawa getting that 5th place there. Gray getting 4th. Great moto there for our 65cc 10-11.
Yep, behind Nagasawa, Landon Lee, Joseph Vicari, Chase Brennan, Easton Kirby, Camden Scoggin. That was your top 10 here in Moto 1 of 65cc 10-11. So those kids are getting off their machines, they're getting the high fives from mom and dad, and taking a quick breather. It was a good moto. Those kids definitely put in hard charges throughout. Jackson Vick, a great recovery ride for him. Easton Graves picking up the big race victory, of course, and setting himself up for a great week here at the ranch with that moto victory. All right, we got the medals ready, and we're going to get ready to send it down to the podium where they're ready to speak with our Zach Herron.
Yeah, thanks, Kellen. I'm hanging out down here at the podium. Lots of emotions down here in the impound tents just after, where the top 10 sit down, take a quick drink of water, debrief about what just happened out there. But what a race we had at the front of the field. Here in this 65 10-11 class, Easton Graves going to get the job done on the number 31 machine. We're going to try to grab a word with him here in just a second. Shaking the fans off. He's signing autographs. Hey, the kids these days, I swear, they're like rock stars out here. And starting to make his way towards the podium. Your winner, Easton Graves, headed towards the box. He's got a gold medal waiting on him. All right, Easton Graves headed towards the line. He's throwing the goggles on. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, your winner, running up on stage, grabbing that gold medal. Easton Graves getting the win here in 65 10-11. Graves hold that thing up high, the big number 1. And then Easton, we're gonna step in front, man. You gotta flex that gear. It looks too good to be hidden behind the bike. Man, you got the job done. You look good. Look at you kick back. You're feeling cool. How you feeling right now?
I'm so happy.
Feeling on cloud 9, I'm sure, man. You got the gold medal hanging around. It looks good. Does it feel good?
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, what did it take to get this win out here? What did you feel like the hardest part was?
Hardest part was probably the start. After that, I was like 6 hours buried. I finally came through. I found a good line in the sand. First lap, I almost got hit by a few kids, and then after that, I got the triple after the finish line, and then after that, I just put my head down and started charging towards the front. Did exactly what you needed to do, and you got the job done, man. I know you got a lot of people helping you out. Who do you want to thank for getting the gold medal? My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, all my friends and family, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, 7, Alpine Star, Bees Moto Lab, Lynx Racing, Bell Helmet, Scott Goggles, Johnny over there for getting my vision clear, Dunlop Tires, and everyone else that helps me out. Thank you so much. And MTF and Moto Sandbox. Thank you so much.
There you go, guys. That is your winner, the 31, Easton Graves, taking the win in 65, 10-11. Feeling good up there. Feeling good on the podium as well. And next up, second place, nice little fist bump there. Put your hands together, a hard-fought ride there. Jackson Vick gonna grab second in class. And grab you a photo, man, and we'll chat up on the front of the box. It was a hard-fought battle. And man, I know it's got to feel good to have that silver medal, but I know here we got to make sure the phones at Racer TV at home can see you, because man, you were on fire. You were rolling good, and I know you were hoping for just a little bit more. How you feeling right now?
I feel amazing. I was ripping.
You were, man. You were on fire. We were even saying you were going. Take us through what happened when you went down.
I tried to pop out of a rut, and my bike just like did 360s, and I flipped over, I guess.
Next thing you know, you were on the ground, man. It didn't look like it shook you at all. You popped back up and immediately started ripping. Everything feel good? You're back 100%, right?
Yeah, then I fell again, actually.
What happened, man? Take us through it. You got to stay off the ground.
I was making a pass and held it wide through a corner and bar dragged too hard.
Oh, dragging bars too hard at home, folks. That was the problem. Hey, dude, 2 crashes and you're still getting a silver medal. That's a good sign. Who do you want to thank for getting up here on the podium?
My mom, my dad, JK Cycles, Adventure Moto, Enzo, Huxon Brand, Answer Racing, MCT, Matt Cleave, my trainer, 100%. Everyone else, thank you so much.
There you go. That is the number 70, Jackson Vick, fighting back after 2 crashes and grabbing a second place here in 65, 10-11. And we're going to bring up third place coming up next, headed towards the box. Grabbing the bronze medal, it's going to be none other than Waylon Bollinger there. Getting the job done. Put your hands together for your bronze medal recipient. Get up there in the front, man. Hold that thing up high. Big smile on the face. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, man. You are pumped up. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really good. Track was pretty gnarly in a couple spots. Had to find my rhythm and tempo after the first 2 laps and stayed on 2 wheels the whole time and had a good race.
Absolutely, man. You're up here on the podium. You're feeling good. You're moving back and forth. You're looking good. I'm a fan of the purple. What do you think it's going to take to get back on the box in Moto 2?
Good starts and stay on 2 wheels again, and yeah.
Yeah, just do what you can do, ride your race, and keep it off the ground, and I think you got what it takes, man. Who do you want to thank for putting yourself on the podium?
I would love to thank Colleen and Brian from Millsap Training Facility. They definitely been helping me a lot. I want to thank Jacob, my gym trainer.
Like, man, it's yours.
I want to thank Jacob, my gym trainer, for getting me nice and physical for this race. I would love to thank 110 Racing, and I would also love to thank Tony from MTF. He helped me a lot mentally. I would love to thank NLab, 60 helmets, I'm just so tired. Factory Connection and ODI. Thank you so much for this, guys.
Great job, man. Running out of breath on the podium speech. He's that pumped up. That's how much it means to grab a podium finish out here at Loretta Lynn's. That is awesome to see. The 89. He's feeling good right now. We got one more rider to call up, grabbing the Stasek Whole Shot Award, Mr. Carter Gray, man. Carter, congratulations. Hang on one second, we're gonna jump you on the front. There we go. Hold that thing up high one more time. First around the first corner, getting that Whole Shot Award, courtesy of Stasek Racing. Man, take us through it. We say there's nothing quite like it. You come around that first turn, no tear-offs, no roll-offs, no nothing. Had to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Take us through the rest of the race, though. You started up front. How did you feel the rest of the ride?
I didn't do as good as I thought I would after, but I just managed and try to keep everyone behind me, but I just tried my best, and I'm so tired.
Hey, that's all you can do, man. Trying your best, give 100%. You clearly know how to start out front, take some notes, recalculate. I'm sure you'll be back out there in Moto 2 swinging. Who do you want to thank for coming out here to Loretta's?
I want to thank Cobra, Brett for getting me these bikes. I want to thank Tyson for helping me get out front on this whole shot. I want to thank Driven MX Training. I want to thank OG Gear. I want to thank X-Brand Goggles, VP Fuels, Dunlop, and T-Rex Throttles, and PR2 suspension.
There you go, guys. That is Carter Gray grabbing that Stasek Whole Shot Award in your 65 10-11 class. Man, I love it. I love to see the emotion. I love to see the excitement. That's what it's all about out here at Loretta's. That's going to do it for the podium. We'll send it back to you guys up in the tower.